Some people say that sous vide is boring. You just take your food, put it in a bag, and it comes out perfectly cooked. Well, these people have never used a blowtorch to finish their sous vide food. I'm going to show you how to do it coming up next on Amazing Food Made Easy. Hey there, I'm Jason Loxton from Amazing Food Made Easy and president of the International Sous Vide Association. And today I want to talk about one of the most entertaining parts of sous vide cooking, and that is searing your food using a torch. A lot of people think that using the torch is just showing off and there's no actual benefit to it. But that's not true. There's a bunch of reasons why you would want to use a torch to finish off your sous vide food. The first is that it is great for uneven food. If you've ever tried to sear a pork shoulder or a chuck roast or even a beef tenderloin in a pan, it's really hard to rotate it, get it coated evenly. These things want to sit certain ways and you can't get them seared evenly. Using a torch allows you to get in all those nooks and crannies. I'll even use it for a lot of cuts that are easy to pan sear, like a ribeye, just to finish off the top so it's a lot more evenly brown and a lot prettier when it's going on the plate. Another benefit is that you can get the outside of your meat as brown and as beautiful as you want it to be, because most torches don't raise the internal temperature nearly as much as a cast iron pan or a grill does. That means you can take your time, you can really kind of paint in the crust that you want, and it's going to turn out looking perfectly cooked every time. Also, because it doesn't heat the inside too much, it's also great for things like chicken and turkey that you really don't want to cook the outside too much. If you pan sear a chicken for too long, it turns stringy and tough on the outside. Using a torch allows you to get some really nice color, make it look very presentable, but you're not adding toughness to the meat at all, which to me is a really big benefit for both chicken and turkey. It's something you can also do really well for fish. It's a lot harder to sear it without it falling apart or raising the temperature, because a lot of times it's on the thinner side. Using a torch allows you to get a lot of great browning on the outside. It looks a lot more palatable and it's not going to fall apart on you. You can even plate the fish first and then finish it off with a little bit of color using the torch when it's already on the dish, so you have no fear of it falling apart. When it comes to the process, it's very similar to the other searing methods. You want to take your food out of the sous vide bag. You want to dry it off really well using a paper towel or a dishcloth. The drying off isn't as important using a torch as if you're using a cast iron pan or if you're searing on the grill, because like I said, the torch doesn't raise the temperature as much. But you're going to speed up your process a lot if you dry it off and get rid of the moisture on the outside. And then you go back and forth over the top of the meat using your torch. The best practice is to start your torch when it's not facing the meat, and then to go back and forth over it about 2 to 4 inches away until it browns in and looks really pleasant. The 2 to 4 inch distance comes in because a lot of times at the base of the flame, it's not as hot, and there can be some unburned fuel there if you get the nozzle too close to the meat, and you don't want that. So 2 to 4 inches is pretty ideal for maximizing your sear, but not getting any gas or any splashback on your food. Now this can depend on the type of torch that you use. If you're using a weed burner, it's going to be different than if you're using a smaller Bernzomatic torch. Because the temperature doesn't raise nearly as quickly as other searing methods, you can take more time when you're using your torch to really make sure it gets colored in all the areas that you want. The biggest downside to a torch, to me, is that it doesn't have a deep penetrating sear. So while it looks really pretty and you get a little texture on the outside, torches aren't great for things like rendering fat on a ribeye or breaking down a fat cap on pork chops. So it's something to keep in mind that if you do want this more rendered, cooked, seared, deep crust, then some of the other methods can work better or in conjunction with a torch. While I torch things that are on the more delicate side, like chicken, turkey, and fish a lot just using a torch, a lot of other things I'll use a torch in conjunction with a pan sear or searing on my grill. It allows me to finish it off, really color in the crust so it looks great while getting the benefits of a pan sear or a grill sear as well. A lot of people want to know, what's the best torch to sear your food with? Well, new torches come out all the time. The one that I use is the Bernzomatic 8000. It is, to me, an ideal torch that is easy to use. I can use it in my kitchen. It's perfect. It has a good amount of heat to it, something that I love, and you can read more about the reviews and my experiences using that. It's a propane torch, and you can also get the Searsol attachment that goes on the end of it. That's something that I don't use, but some people swear by using the Searsol, and they absolutely love it. Iwatani makes a cylinder torch that a lot of people use and very much enjoy. Then there's a whole series of searing guns that have been coming out. You have the grill gun, the grill blazer, SUV gun, a lot of things that are fun, different toys to play with that do a good job. I haven't used many of those myself because I like my Burns-O-Matic torch, but I've heard from people I trust, like Darren Wilson from Firewater Cooking, and he really likes some of these grill guns that put out a little higher heat and work really well. Some people also use what are called weed torches. They're basically, you hook your propane tank up and you can burn down the weeds in your backyard. Well, it's the same propane that you would use in a Burns-O-Matic or any other sous vide torch, and you can use that to sear your food. Obviously, you probably won't be doing that in your kitchen, but if you have a nice outdoor area, it's a great way to quickly sear large quantities of food. So now you know the best way to maximize your sear using a torch, when you might want to use it by itself, and when you want to use it in conjunction with other searing methods, and you have a few ideas for the best sous vide torches that are out there. Till next time, I'm Jason Logston.